Well, now before we get going here and I start trying to put a second coat on places on these parts, I was doing some thinking about these little test clips for IC circuits, I think Tony said they were for. Now, I've never used these at all before yesterday, but Tony was mentioning how I'm going to put the macro lens on and show you what I'm talking about. He was saying how that this clip on the end can be bent out, but I was wondering also if another change could be made to it so that it would we could actually use it on delicate photo etch. Because then it would really be handy, at least for me. Now, I want to make a bit of a correction here. Apparently, when I was talking about using a Keurig K-cup filter, I misunderstood, and it was this type of filter, not the one that was in a used K-cup. However, I'm not going to use this because if it plugs up, well, the thing's ruined, for what it was meant for. And these things were not cheap. I think they worked out to about. It came in a package of 6, and there's around. I can't remember anymore. It was a long time ago I bought them, but they're around $20. So I don't want to waste one of these. So I don't think I'm going to use this, even though I can see where a screen like this would probably be pretty good. Although I don't know how I would use this. I think I'd lose quite a bit of the styrolres in the mesh. It would just stick in there. Anyway, I'm just sort of thinking out loud here again. Anyway, just let me put on the macro lens, and I'll show you. Well, I'll actually do it on camera. I'll try and adjust the end and see if I don't accidentally break it off and completely ruin it. It's kind of a hazy day out there this morning. It looks like the sun is trying to shine, but we've got a lot of smoke in the air. I don't know if you're aware, but here in Canada, we've been having a problem with forest fires, and it seems that here in Canada we're either burning to death or freezing to death, one or the other. Now, I shouldn't complain because this is actually a wonderful country. I can't think of any other country in the world that I would rather live than Canada if we could just warm it up in the wintertime. Anyway, let's just put the macro lens on here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. There, all better. Now, I don't want to test this out on our little part here that I want to try and repaint later, but I do have some railing that was left over from the Bismarck, and we'll move in a little closer, and we'll just try it on this rail at the top here, or is that the bottom rail? Doesn't matter. Okay, very gently now here. Try and do this and not move it out of the field of view. Okay, the idea is, and I'm thinking what's going to happen is that as soon as I let the spring, oh come on, I think it's gonna bend that. Yeah, that's what I thought. So let me check the monitor. Okay, that's what I thought would happen. But I'm thinking that, let me get this off of here, I think I'm going to have to back out just a little bit. Okay, I've got a little speck of dust or something right here, and I'll use that as a reference. Now, what I'm thinking is, I let's get rid of this. And I am going to save that railing. Okay, now what I'm thinking is, what if when it's out like this, alright, now Tony was mentioning how we can straighten this out. I'm having trouble getting my hands to work here. Oh my, I may have to find something a little bit smaller here. And these are small. Alright, let's try this. Well, that's pretty hard. Something else. Alright, we'll try this. Come on. Yeah, that seems to be bending it. Kind of. I want to bend it so it's at 90 degrees. I thought I broke it off there for a minute. Is it coming? Yeah, it's coming. Okay. Now maybe I can get a hold. Whoops. Now maybe I can get a hold of this. Alright, how does that look? Yeah, that looks like it's about 90 degrees to the other part. Okay, now this still retracts on the inside. It's still gonna crimp that railing or whatever. But what I'm thinking is, what if we should be able to twist this? I almost spilled my coffee. Okay, maybe I'll grab it like this. Okay. Now I'm going to twist it at 90 degrees. Like this. Alright. No, it's got to go more yet. It's trying to spring back. I'm just going to do this off camera. Okay, now my thinking is that what if I was to pinch the whatever it was in between this piece that is hooked, the hook rather, and the the piece of plastic. Let's just try it. Let's just grab another one here. So let me check the monitor. I want to make sure we're still on camera here. Yeah, more or less. Okay. Now I'm thinking is, it shouldn't bend it now. Oh, a little bit. I'd like to be able to get it between. Well, it's better. Yeah, it's better. But still, it's not. Okay, I wonder if a person could close this up a bit so that it's the hole is smaller. I think the idea is right. It's just that my apparatus is just a little bit not quite right. Okay, yeah, I think something like this would work. Maybe, I bet you I've got something down in my pen making parts that would I could probably utilize. Yeah. I just went through all my paints here, and as far as I know, this is the last jar of the number 22 that we're going to use on the sides of the funnels. I think there's probably maybe 2 milliliters left in there. I think it's just enough. Maybe if I add a little bit of thinner to it. But I think what I should do is actually order some more paint and also some more thinner. We're almost out of thinner. I should maybe check and see what else I need, because the delivery charge will be the same regardless. whether you have 10 little jars of paint or just one. So, yeah, got to think about that today. Okay, we do have a little bit of time here yet this afternoon. Not much. But I'm just going to do a little bit of touch-up here. I don't think it's worth cranking up the airbrush for. I'll move in a little closer, of course. These ones here, I was noticing, and so was one of the viewers, that we can actually see the photo etch glinting in between the little slats. And I got to remember when I'm wiggling my finger around here that I don't break something off. Okay, yeah, so we'll just, even though they, in all likelihood, these little hoops or whatever, that like I'm holding on to right now, are not going to be seen. You know, when I was holding on to it before, it never got painted. So let's just paint it just in case. And as far as our spiders go, there you can see. Yeah, I can actually see it. I don't know. Should I respray those, or should I just try and touch them up with a brush? I know that the airbrush would do a better job, but on the other hand, I think with the thinned out paint here, like what do we got here, 50-50? Now mind you, this isn't 50-50 anymore. There's very little in there. It's probably thickened itself up a little bit. Well, let's just see how it goes on these. Okay. Now, I'm not going to use this brush to paint, but I think I'll probably need something to hold it down because I don't have this part stuck down. So I'm thinking that if I go like this, I'm not going to do any damage. Now, being as this is so thin, we're just going to sort of flood it on all over and just let it shrink wrap. Well, that's too much. I know that's too much. Let's just get some off there. I have to turn it so I can see it. Now, as far as anywhere around the outside, I'm not going to even try to touch anything up because most of it is going to be, you know, hidden inside the funnel anyway. At least that's my thinking at the moment. Let's see, how's that look? Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm not seeing any photo etch anywhere. All right. Now, yeah, the other one's already on a block. That's convenient. Oh yeah, you can see a lot of photo etch on this one. I'll put the macro lens on. Okay, we'll check that out once it's dry. I'm guessing the paint is probably only about half dry, especially on the top of these little round discs here. It kind of pooled there, but I'm hoping that that's going to shrink wrap itself. I painted the entire thing, by the way, second coat. We'll look at them again tomorrow, give them a chance to. I can be steady if I concentrate. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. Not as good, I'll admit, not as good as if it had been a second coat with the airbrush. But I'm not seeing any photo etch anywhere glinting. No, maybe if I stuck the macro lens on. But the macro lens shows up all the mistakes all the time. So we just won't do that this time. Am I seeing something here? No, I don't think so. We got an email last night from one of the regular viewers, and he was thinking of upgrading or getting a security system, and he was wondering which one did I have. Now, I know that I did mention it before, at least I think I did, but just in case, I've got this one right here. Now, yeah, I'm pretty impressed so far. Now, I'm only about 1/3 through my installation, so am I still going to be impressed when I'm 3/3 installed? Well, we'll see. I'll let you know. And if I make any mistakes and screw it up myself, I'll tell you that too. But so far I'm impressed. Everything's working. I've got 5 cameras hooked up, and mind you, 2 of them I'm going to have to move, and 1 of them isn't even put in the right place yet, but at least the 5 of the 10 are still working. Well, actually there's 12, because I got those 2 pan tilt zoom cameras. So anyway, just thought I'd mention that. Yeah, it's this one right here. Now, I just finished editing out those last few scenes that we just saw. And when I got to see it up close with the macro lens on the computer, I was appalled at how bad one of these in particular was. So I'm going to have to repaint that one, probably this evening. I'll do it off camera, just get it done. And we'll take a look at it tomorrow. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.